So my name is Lee, and this is Heather Schilling. We are both adaptive riding lessons or instructors here at NCEFT, and we're so excited that today is our turn to do one of these series broadcasts. We've been excited to watch our colleagues here in the barn and other therapists do their sessions. And invite you to go look at those. Those are on our website at nceft.org, and they're also on our YouTube channel. So please check those out afterwards. Today, we're really excited to do a adaptive riding session with you all. We really miss doing these with our students, so we're really excited that you get to participate today. We're hoping it'll be interactive. I'll explain a little bit about that later. We're going to get started. So we're going to get Heather on her horse, who's Scooter. We're going to walk over to the arena now. So the other reason we're excited to do an adaptive riding session for this episode was that we know there are a lot of people out there who maybe haven't had a chance to see what happens in the arena when we do one of these sessions. So for those of you who haven't seen it, we'll do a full lesson beginning to end, and we'll talk through a little bit of why we're doing it. For those of you who are out there who have done lessons or maybe are our students, we hope a lot of our students are out there, and we hope that you will help be the teacher in this lesson. So we're going to switch it over. Heather, who's usually our teacher, is going to be our student today, and you all get to help be the teacher through Zoom. So the way that's going to work is at various points I'll ask you a question about maybe how Heather should communicate with her horse or what she should do next. And there will be a question that'll appear on your Zoom screen, and we invite you to answer. And then all of us together, Chris is behind the camera, she'll be able to see what you're answering and she'll tell me, and what all of us together decide will be what Heather does. So hope this goes well. This is the first ever, you all are making history, first ever remotely done adaptive riding session at NCEFT. Let's go ahead. Oh, Tate says hi. Hi, Tate. Glad you could make it. I'm really glad you're there because we're going to need advanced riders to help with telling Heather what to do. So our first question for all of you is going to be maybe a kind of a warm-up, an easy one. Should Heather wear a helmet? So you should see the question on there, and you should see two possible answers, yes or no, and we'll give you a minute to answer that. And once we have an answer from Chris, we'll decide. In the meantime, we can maybe walk in. Do we have a verdict yet?
Have at least one yes vote.
Okay, you know what? I will take it. Let's say Heather should wear a helmet. She's going to wear a helmet. And then the next thing that we'll do when we're getting ready to ride, we'll always start with a tack check. So our barn staff will have checked all the tack every time they take it on or take it off or put it on. They're checking for things that are worn out or buckles that are misplaced or things. So we feel pretty good about that. Heather's going to double check. She's also going to make exactly. How does his girth feel? Oh, he's taking it pretty well. So the reason that Heather's going to tighten the girth is we want to make sure that saddle is nice and tight and it's not going to go anywhere when Heather's riding. So now that she's ready, she's going to go ahead and unclip her horse. And because Heather is a really independent rider, she's going to mount all by herself, but I'll maybe I'll talk through exactly what she's doing as she mounts. We'll do some stretches once you get on. Mister. Hi, Tate, I miss you too. So Heather's gonna walk her horse through our mounting block. Today we'll get on from the left. Sometimes we also get on from the right. That kind of balances out what we're asking of our horses. And because Heather's an independent rider and there's nobody clipped on, she's gonna hold her reins in her stirrups so we don't have a loose horse. Okay, so she's got one hand on her reins at all times. She's gonna put her left foot in her stirrup and swing on over. Nicely done, Heather. And you can take your feet out of the stirrups for the warm-up. Okay, next question for our riders or for our teachers out there. We want to get going. How can Heather ask her horse to go? I think you have a few options. I don't remember what they are. It's probably woo, or walk on, or go please, or something silly like cheesy pizza. So we'll wait and see. Oh, it's not working. Okay, so that's a hint for all the teachers out there. That's probably not the right answer. Have any answers yet? Okay, Chris says it's walk on or go, please. Nice. And you'll notice that Heather also gave a little bit of a squeeze with her heels. That's another way she can ask her horse to go. Maybe give him another squeeze. So the same way we can say, like if you wanted to say, I love you to your mom, you could do it with words or you could do it with a hug. We also have multiple ways of talking to our horses. And so Heather's gonna start out with no stirrups. My students will recognize that most of the time this is how I start my lessons for a few reasons. One is that we wanna let Heather find the center of her horse on her own without the help of or sometimes the interference of stirrups. So I'm gonna encourage Heather to do a little scooting around to make sure she feels like she's in the middle of her horse. And then I and maybe our instructors who are on Zoom can come and check from behind. That's often what I'll do is I'll take a few steps from behind her. And maybe you can get that shot and see whether you think her head is above her backbone, is above Scooter's backbone. Nice. And I think we're all nice and aligned. And oh my goodness, I'm noticing something. Maybe other people are noticing too. I'm noticing Heather's got some gum in her mouth. What? So we're going to need to stop. So how do we actually, Heather doesn't know how to stop yet. Well, we're going to need some help from our audience. How should Heather tell her horse to stop? She could pull back on her reins. She could say, whoa. She could do maybe both of those. I'll let you all choose. Nice. So we never want to ride with gum in our mouth. The same reason you wouldn't want to play soccer or do other sports with gum in your mouth. You don't want it to be a choking hazard. Okay, I think we're ready to keep going. And I think it'd be fun to start with some more stretches. So maybe I'll clip on for this. And that means now you can ask whether you have your horse. I do have your horse, so you can let go of your reins. Perfect. And ask your horse to walk on. Maybe another little squeeze. Okay, let's start with some stretches. Hands up, above, high as you can reach them. I know, and folks at home can do these too. You don't have to be on a horse to do these stretches. I actually really like doing them from the ground too. So up, and then out to the side like an airplane. Maybe do a twist toward Chris and your fans. And out to the side. How about a hug? Hug yourself and a deep breath. I really like starting with deep breaths because they're very centering. Get us focused. One more breath. And then Heather's choice. What would be your favorite stretch to do? Really loud. Whoa, we can totally do that because I'm clipped on. We can do that. I am ready. I got your horse. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and while you're doing that, your horse might do some crazy driving. What's your horse doing, Heather? Really hard. Which way is he turning? So this is the thing we often ask our riders to do because it really challenges them to use their core to stay in place. And it also gets them really in tune with their horse's movement. So that challenge of asking Heather what her horse is doing, that also lets me know how much she can tell from how it feels. Okay, I think that was a pretty good warm-up. How are you feeling, Heather? Okay, then I'll let you grab your reins. Do you have your horse? I have my horse. Okay, can we also see some ice cream cone hands? Nice. Beautiful. And if you have your horse, I'm going to unclip. Nice. Now the next thing we need to do is maybe check your stirrups. So can you steer your horse into the middle for me? I think you do. I think you're a pretty independent rider. Here's like, I got this. And then you can tell your horse, whoa, please. And the next thing we're going to do is check Heather's stirrups to see if they feel good. Maybe the camera can come around here and help us out. Let's take a look at that one first. Do you think that stirrup is, this is going to be a question for the audience. Do you think that stirrup is too short, too long, or just right? Do we have any answers from the audience?
Too long.
Too long. Excellent. So we're going to let Heather adjust that stirrup. In a lesson, I might help with this, but today we're going to do some social distancing, and Heather also knows how to do this herself, so we'll let her adjust it. And you can see how she's doing it. The stirrup is held on just one strap, and she just has to move the buckle up or down to make the stirrup longer or shorter. Oh, and you've got also, this is a good thing to notice, this is what we call a safety stirrup. So this rubber band, you might notice if you've seen an old school stirrup, it's just metal all the way around. This is a safety stirrup, so this will pop off if anything happens, if Heather falls off or needs to get out really quickly, that'll pop off and she won't get it. Exactly. Okay, I'll let you adjust your other stirrup on your own, Heather. She looks like she's ready to ride in the Kentucky Derby.
Not right in it, but you're the habit.
Yeah. So while Heather's doing that, we'll let you all decide what we should do next. So I think the options that are available, you should have them showing up on your screen. We can ride an obstacle course, we can do some trotting practice, or we can play a game. So it's up to all of you to decide what's next for Heather as she finishes adjusting her stirrup here.
I think they're trying to play a trick on you.
We have some barn fairies who mess with our stirrup. Do we have any answers? Trotting practice. I feel like that might have been tape. Okay, so we have a few options for what kind of trotting Heather can do. So there's sitting trot, where she just tries to sit and keep her butt in the saddle as much as she can as her horse bounces. So the trot, for those of you who haven't had an opportunity to trot before, it's a pretty bouncy gait. So Heather's her job at the sitting trot will be to sit with that bounce and not be bouncing all around. Another option is to post. So maybe she can demonstrate. Yeah, at the walk. Well, no, do it at the halt actually. Just posting is just up and down in the saddle. And she'll be doing that in rhythm with her horses trotting. Yeah. And then the other option is to do what we call 2-point or half seat. That's where she's shortening her reins, she's grabbing her horse's mane, she's kind of staying out of the saddle. So she's completely off her horse's back the whole time. So here's a question for you all. Which kind of trotting should she do? Should she do sitting trot or posting trot or 2-point trot? Maybe while we're waiting for the answers, we can get going. Posting trot. Okay, we are ready. So the way she's going to ask is she's going to give her, you can hear the little cluck she's doing. Oh, okay. Did you hear that, Heather? It's a tie. So let's start with posting. And the way she's getting her horse to trot is she's giving him a squeeze, and she's using that cluck sound. She might also use the words trot, please. And if he slows down, she's giving him another little squeeze. And this is her posting trot. So you notice she's going up and down with the rhythm of her horse. And now I think it was 50-50. So let's switch to 2-point seat. She's going to shorten her reins first, grab his mane. Nicely done, Heather. And you'll see she's got a really nice 2-point. She's got her heels down, so all her weight is in her heels. And her heels are under her body. Her hip is right above them. And she's got a nice flat back, too. Posting is fine, yeah. And I like that she's looking up where she wants to go, too. Our horses can tell where we're looking. Okay, nice trotting practice, Heather. You can pull back and say, whoa, and ask your horse to walk. Beautifully done. Okay, what should we do for you? We've already done the trotting practice, so should we do obstacle course or should we do game? Or we can do try. You could choose trotting practice again if you wanted to, but we'll see. A game, yes, let's do a game. So, okay, let's do the game. And if we have time afterwards, we'll do an obstacle course. But there's always another chance later. And maybe when everybody gets back, we can do lots of obstacle courses. But the game today is going to be Simon Says. So for those of you who don't remember, haven't played in a while, I'll just go over the rules really quickly. Chris and I and all of you get to be Simon. So we're going to say what Heather should do. So we might say, Simon says, get up in your 2-point seat. And then Heather would have to get up in her 2-point seat. And you all on the Zoom get to participate too. You can use the chat to say what you think that Heather should do. And so between all of us, we'll be Simon. And Chris will call them out. If Chris calls something out with nobody's name ahead of it, then Heather's not supposed to do it. And if she does it, then we got it. We got her. Yeah, go for it. Simon says, turn your horse in a circle to the right. So she's going to bring her hand toward her hip to steer. That will help. There, nice circle with Scooter. He's listening very well to you, Heather.
They're both facing my direction.
Maybe does Chris have a Simon says?
Simon says, hold for 3 seconds, then go. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Come on, Scooter.
Trot, Heather.
Okay.
Ha, Simon didn't say. We got her. Okay, should we do one more round? Okay, do we have any more? I can start us off. Simon says, get up in your 2-point seat at the walk. Nice job with your reins. Shorten them maybe just a little bit more so you can still steer your horse. Simon says, walk over this set of poles. Nice, I like how Heather had her eyes up the whole time and her back was flat. It's a beautiful 2-point. Sit back down. I got her again. Okay, I think that was going to be the 2 rounds of Simon Says, and I think we're running out of time. So maybe we'll take a cool down lap just back to the end of the arena. You can tell your horse to walk on. And thank you all out there who participated and helped be Simon for Heather. We tricked her twice. And so our last question for you, audience members, as we do our cool down, is to think about thanking our horse for the hard work that he did for us. So there are lots of ways we could do it, and that question should be appearing with a few ideas, and you can check as many as you like. I think there's something like saying thank you, or giving him a pat, or maybe giving him a carrot. And we'll let people vote on that while you take your horse, Heather, to the end of the arena and then practice that whoa that we've mastered today. He's got the whoa down. Okay, tell him whoa, please. And Heather, the audience says that you should thank your horse by giving him a pat. He is a good guy. And I'll go ahead and clip on for this. So when you're ready, you can check with me first.
Do you have my horse?
Yes, I have your horse, so you can get off.
What should I do?
So first, because I have your horse, you can let go of your reins. And we'll put them up your horse's neck, just out of your way. Then Heather's going to take 2 feet out of her stirrups. She's going to lean forward and give her horse a hug. And then she's going to swing one leg around and hop down. Nicely done, Heather. I'm just going to give her horse another pat just to say thank you again.
I think I'll put up my stirrups.
Yeah, she's also going to put up her stirrups. This is the thing a lot of our advanced riders know how to do. We run up our stirrups so that they don't bang on our horse's side as they're walking. And that's how a session usually goes. Often we'll also do other things like you saw the obstacle course. Sometimes we'll go out on trails. We're always kind of focusing on fun and on improving riding skills and also increasing independence for our riders. So I hope you enjoyed this session. I hope you'll tune into more. I think next week we have Tuesday is Alondra. She's going to talk about different sitting positions for therapy. She's going to be riding Ned, so if you're missing Ned, tune in for that one. And then next Friday, our barn staff is going to talk about long lining a horse. So that's when they stand behind the horse, and these long lines that go from the horse's mouth to their hands. And we're going to talk about different figures they do and how that affects the riders. So please tune in for that. And I think that's it. We're so happy that you tuned in and helped us teach our lesson today.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.